The lady turned very white as she took in the whole situation. The three strangers, the silver chair destroyed, and the prince free with his sword in his hand. But Jill thought it was the sort of whiteness that comes over some people's faces, not when they're frightened, but when they are angry.
Gods, leave us, and let none disturb us till I call, on pain of death.
Yes, my lady.
How now, my lord prince? Has your knightly fit not yet come upon you? Or is it over so soon? Why stand you here unbound? Who are these aliens? And is it they who have destroyed the silver chair which was your only safety?
Madam, there will be no more need of that chair. And you, who have told me 100 times how deeply you pitied me for the sorceries by which I was bound, will doubtless hear with joy that they are now ended forever. There was, it seems, some small error in your ladyship's way of treating them. These, my true friends, have delivered me. I am now in my right mind, and there are two things I will say to you. First, as for your ladyship's design of putting me at the head of an army of earthmen so that I may break out into the overworld and there, by main force, make myself king over some nation that never did me wrong, murdering their natural lords and holding their throne as a bloody and foreign tyrant. Now that I know myself, I do utterly abhor and renounce it as plain villainy.
Oh.
And second, I am the king's son of Narnia, Rillian, the only child of Caspian, 10th of that name, whom some call Caspian the Seafarer. Therefore, madam, it is my purpose, as it is also my duty, to depart suddenly from your highness's court into my own country. Please it you to grant me and my friends safe conduct and a guide through your dark realm.
Narnia. Narnia? I have often heard your lordship utter that name in your ravings. Dear prince, you are very sick. Allow me to help you.
The witch moved gently across the room. When she'd come to a little ark set in the wall not far from the fireplace, she opened it and took out first a handful of green powder. This she threw on the fire. It didn't blaze much, but a very sweet and drowsy smell came from it. And all through the conversation that followed, that smell grew stronger and filled the room and made it harder to think.
Yes, this will clear your mind. There is no land called Narnia.
Yes, there is though, ma'am. You see, I happen to have lived there all my life.
Indeed. If you'll pardon me while I play a little music. It helps to soothe the nerves, I find. This is all quite a shock. There. Now, as you were saying, from what country do you come?
Up there.
Where?
I don't know exactly where.
You point upwards. Is there a country up among the stones and mortar of the roof?
No, it's in Overworld.
And what, pray, is this, how do you call it, overworld?
Oh, don't be so silly. As if you didn't know. It's up above. Up where you can see the sky and the sun and the stars. Why, you've been there yourself. We met you there.
I cry you mercy, little brother. I have no memory of that meeting. But we often meet our friends in strange places when we dream. And unless all dreamed alike, you must not ask them to remember it.
Madam, I have already told your grace that I am the king's son of Narnia.
and shalt be, dear friend, the king of many imagined lands in thy fancies.
We've been there too.
And thou art queen of Narnia too, I doubt not, pretty one.
I'm nothing of the sort. We come from another world.
Why, this is a prettier game than the other. Tell us, little maid, where is this other world? What ships and chariots go between it and ours?
Well, I don't know exactly. But somehow...
Somehow? What?
Somehow... It seems like a dream now.
That's because it is a dream. It's all a dream.
Yes, I suppose it was all a dream.
There never was such a world.
There never was such a world. No, there never was such a world.
There never was such a world but mine.
There never was such a world but yours.
I don't know rightly what you all mean by a world, but you can play that fiddle till your fingers drop off, and still you won't make me forget Narnia, and the whole overworld too. We'll never see it again, I shouldn't wonder. You may have blotted it out and turned it dark like this, for all I know. Nothing more likely. But I know I was there once. I've seen the sky full of stars. I've seen the sun coming up out of the sea of a morning and sinking behind the mountains at night. And I've seen him up in the midday sky when I couldn't look at him for brightness.
Why, there it is. Of course. The blessing of Aslan be upon this honest marshwiggle. We have all been dreaming these last few minutes. How could we have forgotten it? Of course we've all seen the sun.
By Jove, so we have. Good for you, Puddleglum. You're the only one of us with any sense.
What is this sun that you all speak of? Do you mean anything by the word?
Yes, we jolly well do.
Can you tell me what it's like?
Do you see that lamp? It is round and yellow and gives light to the whole room, and hangs, moreover, from the roof. Now, that thing which we call the sun is like the lamp, only far greater and brighter. It gives light to the whole overworld and hangs in the sky.
Hangs from what, my lord?
Well,
You see, when you try to think out clearly what this sun must be, you cannot tell me. You can only tell me it is like the lamp. Your sun is a dream, and there is nothing in that dream that was not copied from the lamp. The lamp is the real thing. The sun is but a tale, a children's story.
Yes, I see now. It must be so.
There is no sun. Do you understand? There is no sun.
There is no sun.
you are right. There is no sun.
No, there never was a sun.
But there is something else. Something on the tip of my tongue.
Oh.
There's Aslan.
Aslan. What a pretty name.
Yes.
What does it mean?
He is the great lion who called us out of our world and sent us into this to find Prince Rilian.
Do tell me, what is a lion?
Oh, hang it all. Don't you know? How can we describe it to her? Have you ever seen a cat?
Surely, I love cats.
Well, a lion's a little bit, only a little bit, mind you, like a huge cat with a mane. At least, not like a horse's mane, you know. It's more like, how to describe it, I don't know. But it's yellow and terrifically strong.
Oh, I see that we shall do no better with your lion than we did with your son. You have seen lamps, so you imagined a bigger and better lamp and called it the sun. You've seen cats, and now you want a bigger and better cat, and it's to be called a lion. Well, 'tis pretty make-believe, though to say truth, it would suit you all better if you were younger. And look how you can put nothing into your make-believe without copying it from the real world. This world of mine, which is the only world. But even you children are too old for such play. Put away these childish tricks. I have work for you all in the real world. There is no Narnia, no overworld, no sun, no sky, no Aslan.
No.
And now to bed all, and let us begin a wise life tomorrow. To bed, to sleep, deep sleep, soft pillows, sleep without foolish dreams.
Sleep, deep sleep.
The children stood with their heads hung down, their cheeks flushed, their eyes half closed, the strength all gone from them. The enchantment was almost complete. But Puddleglum, desperately gathering all his strength, walked over to the fire. Then he did a very brave thing which he knew would hurt him. With his bare foot, he stamped on the fire, grinding a large part of it into ashes on the flat hearth. The sweet, heavy smell grew very much less, replaced by the smell of burnt marshwiggle, which is not at all an enchanting smell.
What are you doing? Dare to touch my fire again, mud filth, and I'll turn the blood to fire inside your veins.
One word. All you've been saying is quite right. I shouldn't wonder. I'm a chap who always liked to know the worst and then put the best face I could on it. So I won't deny any of what you said. But there's one thing more to be said even so. Suppose we have only dreamed or made up all those things, trees and grass and sun and moon and stars and Aslan himself. Suppose we have. Then all I can say is that in that case, the made-up things seem a good deal more important than the real ones. Suppose this black pit of a kingdom of yours is the only world. Well, it strikes me as a pretty poor one. That's a funny thing when you come to think of it. We're just babies making up a game, if you're right. But 4 babies playing a game can make a play world which beats your real world to pieces. That's why I'm going to stand by the play world. I'm on Aslan's side, even if there isn't any Aslan to lead it. I'm going to live as like a Narnian as I can, even if there isn't any Narnia! Yes! So, thanking you kindly for our supper, if these 2 gentlemen and the young lady are ready, we're leaving your court at once and setting out in the dark to spend our lives looking for Overland. Not that our lives will be very long, I shouldn't think, but that's a small loss if the world's as dull a place as you say.
Yes, that's right.
Hooray for good old Puddleglum.
Hooray!
Watch out! Look,